you know, but they were fucking us, and then we fucked them in their hearts, we fucked them in their mind, and then we fucked them in their soul. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Raven's Villa. I am Raven, and today we're going to be playing some Halo 5. Coincidentally, it's the first game I got on into gaming with, so maybe I'll tell you a little bit about my story with starting out the game and starting out with clans, actually. Let's dive right in. Look at my super sexy Spartan right there. Ooh. I just love the combination of Hellcat armor and fucking Pathfinder. Alright, we'll start out some ranked. Yeah, so like I said, I originally started out gaming on Halo. Halo PC. Combat Evolved actually, around a little bit around 10, 12 years ago. Let's go ahead and put an RP boost in there. Yeah. Halo is my first game, and Halo will be continued to be my game. I'm utterly in love with Halo. In love with the storyline, the characters, the fandom, everything about it. Even the clans and the trolls I have to love. I was a clan kid for a while. Yeah, no, my first clan had to be a little multi-platform kind of PC, Xbox clan called Cops and Robbers, otherwise known as ZNR. Met some good guys in there. Ghost, Devil, Zedron. Yeah, no, they mostly played Halo CE. They ran out of server. They had TeamSpeak, you know, all the kind of games and the fucking setup you needed to have when you were a clan back then. You know, they were a tight-knit group of guys. We had one faction, the Cops, which I was a part of for a little bit, and then you had one faction, the Robbers. The Robbers, yo, there was this one guy named, CNR Legend and CNR Scarface, yo, they were the top dogs to talk to in the Robbers, you know? Had a lot of good experiences right then, really shaped me into who I was as a clan leader, who I was as a clan kid. And I retired from clans, leading clans a little bit ago. And everyone's like, hey, Karam or Osto, because I was known as a gamer tag by Osto Vadatu. And they were like, Osto, you gotta create your Forerunner clan again. Like, well, I got all these guys ready to join up. I was like, nah, I'm done with clans.
Initiating Slayer. I am eager to see how well you perform.
It's too much work to put into leading a clan when I've got real life to focus on now, you know? CNR was really a good clan. They had a Minecraft server, they had a Halo server. They were big into Minecraft and Halo. You know, they had a Minecraft server that was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, you know. Everyone had their own little section of the map. We had like different parts of the map dedicated to cops and dedicated to robbers. Everyone just grouped on there and built and survived, you know, and they did whatever they wanted to do. Who was shooting at me? Die.
Outcome altered.
You really couldn't hit a single of those shots,
Obvious
King?
proficiency.
Damn. Where was I? Oh yeah, Minecraft. CNR. You know, for like an 11, 12-year-old kid, like, looking up to these guys that managed to build such a successful little community. I think they had like 500 members at one point, if I'm not mistaken. They might still be around, I don't know. But I was in that for like about a year or two. I got out of it. Moved on. Bigger, better things. There was one other PC clan I was a part of before the Halo Reach days.
Win condition 50% fulfilled.
I'm gonna pause for laughter with this. It was a Roblox clan. Yeah. Got your laugh out? Okay, cool. But again, these guys were such a tight-knit group of people. they also had a TeamSpeak, and they were called the ATSS, or otherwise known as the Apocalypse Tactical Stealth Squad. And they only played one game seriously on Roblox. It was some survival DayZ kind of game called Apocalypse Rising, I think. It was made by a guy named Gus Manic and his pal, I forget his pal's name, but, you know, I think he was going to school for game design and all that. I think that was his little project on Roblox, was Apocalypse Rising. And it was basically like DayZ, but in Lego form, and you can go around these maps, survive, hook up with other people. They had a little team system in the game.
Lost the lead.
And
Outcome altered.
I joined
You
in
have
with
gained
this
the
group
lead.
of. It was a really fun game to play. You know, like if it's still around, you should definitely go play
Your
it, check it
opponents
out.
are leading.
I mean, it was really fun at the time. But
You
I
have
rolled
gained the
into this squad of players on Apocalypse Rising. My name was Chief back then. On it.
Lost the lead. Your opponents are nearing victory.
So, like I'm saying,
You have gained the lead.
we're on Apocalypse Rising. I'm rolling with the squad that I just met. I think the leader's name was Fribs the Man. With a Z,
Lost the
hard
lead.
Z, Fribs the Man. And he's like the only notable person that I can remember. Just because me and him hung out a lot. I was with this clan for, I don't know, maybe a year. Had to be a year. Because I rose up through the ranks pretty quickly. Basically, you had two sets of squads. You had the squad where
completed.
everyone else
You
was
have
part
been
of,
defeated.
which made up over like 400 members or like 500 members, and then you had like the elite of the squad, the inner circle of the clan, which was the Alpha Squad or something like that, which was led by Fribs the Man. Me and Fribs got really close for a bit. I led their like 300-man company, hosted little giveaways and events, and promoted their clans. Got into some wars with some other Roblox Apocalypse Rising groups. All in all, we had a chill and fun ass time with each other. Again, it's a really good game. You should go check it out if it's still around. I don't know. I stopped playing that a while ago and got hooked on Halo Reach. Now, this is after 2012 or whatever. The golden age of Halo Reach clans has passed. Or we're beginning to pass it right now. It's like 2013. I just got this game and this Xbox for Christmas. I don't really remember a lot of my early clan days on Halo Reach. I was a part of a Spartan clan. I got conscripted as a Douglas and a Jerome and a Victor. I got conscripted as 3 Spartans. Yep, 3 Spartans, Jerome, Douglas, and Victor. Yeah, it was Reaper Nation, and their leader was Batman or something. I got conscripted as 3 Spartans over the
Initiating
course of a year,
Slayer.
I guess.
I am eager to see how well you perform.
Yeah, I was in that for a couple of months after that, and then, you know, this Batman guy just up and left. So I was like, not gonna be here no more. So I left and I joined a Sangheili clan. I want the best of both worlds, you know? I want to experience everything there is to experience. I guess I'm like, what am I, 14 at this point? Oh no. Yeah, Sangheili. Sangheili clans, let me tell you, Sangheili. Oh, is this guy again? This king guy? Come on, guy, you can't shoot for shit. What'd you suddenly get good at? Alright, well, as I was saying, the Sangheili clan. I don't remember any of their gamer tags or nothing, but I was part of a Sangheili clan for a little bit. I was a miner, maybe about a period of 4 months. It was the Fleet of Retribution, I think. Yeah, I was a miner. I learned all their little stuff to learn. I learned their code of conduct, their sword dueling. How do you not die? Oh god.
Lost the lead.
Hillary, St. Hewley's, a couple months. Yeah, I was only there for a couple months. I don't remember anybody. And immediately after that, I took my start in leading clans, you know? I got hooked into with a guy called Anonymous. Yeah, Anonymous XI or something like that. IV. Anonymous IV or VI. Yeah. If any of you have heard of him, you know he's kind of an asshole. But, you know, he and I clicked since I guess I'm kind of an asshole too. We hung out. We ran together for a little bit. He decided he wanted to create his own clan called the Special Combat and Tactics. And immediately he like, you make that into an acronym, and you know what that gets you. You know what that gets you. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what that gets you. And I was like, Anonymous, we can't do that. We cannot name our clan
Your opponents are nearing
the
victory.
Special Combat and Tactics. And he was like, why? And I pointed out the acronym, and she was like, oh, what's that? I was like, oh, I really wish I didn't know what it was, but, you know, I did. So I was like, I explained it to him, he was like, oh, shit, you're right. Haha, pun. So it ended up the special assault tactics or something, yeah. So it was the SAT instead of the SCAT, you know. Aha. There, you're only gonna get me to spell it, not to fucking say it. Cause I'm not saying that shit. Ew. That ran for a couple months.
Game concluded.
We're actually really
You have
good.
been
We got into
defeated.
all these fucking clan raids with all these different people. I don't even remember any of them. I think the Enclave was one of them. You guys remember the Enclave? The Enclave were like one of the most superpowerist clans around. And I don't even know why they fell, but they fell, and you know, it hasn't been the same without them since. They were like the first insurrectionist type clan out there. You know, I gotta give props where props is due, and a lot of guys, to run a successful clan, you gotta have no life. You gotta have no life. And you know, props due where props is due. Their name lives on, and you know, you can't go into a lobby of veteran clan leaders and not hear nostalgia in their voices when they talk about fucking General JB, they talk about the Enclave, they talk about fucking Irish Charlo. Irish Charlo was like the insurrectionist to be. Irish Charlo. Don't know where you are, dude, but you're remembered. Even after all this time. In the UNR and oh god. So where was I? Anonymous. Yeah, we ran the SAT for a couple months. We got recruits.
Initiating Slayer.
We met this
I am
other
eager to
clan
see how
called
well you
Red
perform.
Orbit, and the way they had their clan set up, which was a special forces clan, or a PMC clan actually, they actually made you change your gamer tag to Red Orbit and then some number and digit, some letter and number, you know. Like, you'd be like Red Orbit Delta
You are an
01.
excellent
And
diversion.
you'd have to change the gamer tag to that. I don't know if you had to pay for it or they paid for it, but you know. I'm a nice guy. I'm kind of a good guy. So, you know, when I made my clans and they were like a family-based clan or whatever, I'd give them the option to change their gamer tag to something that had to deal with our clan, and I'd pay for it. You know, since it was their choice to do it, and I didn't want them to break the bank doing it, since, you know, we're all kids at this point. We don't have any money of our own. We don't want to ask our parents to fucking, hey, give us $10 so that we can change our name to fucking Red Orbit D's Delta 01. And they look at you like, what the fuck is that? Like, can I have $10? And they're like, no, go to school, so I can go day drink, because I don't love you, and that's why you're not getting $10. But after a couple months of running ops, running raids, Anonymous had the bright idea to make a Forerunner clan, and you know, Forerunners at this point are just being introduced to the lore. We have no real idea of what the fuck the Forerunners are, other than there's no Halo 4 at this point. We don't know what the fuck is going on with
Outcome altered.
Prometheans, the Didact, nothing like
Obvious
that.
proficiency.
But we had no real understanding of their fucking lore and how their council worked and all that. So, oh, sorry. So when he introduced
Enemy
his
win
little
condition 50% fulfilled.
Forerunner clan, I was like, okay. Interesting and new, not too done, because we had tons of fucking... Ah, fuck. Because you have tons of fucking UNSC and ONI and Sangheili clans and insurrectionists. No one really had Forerunners. I don't think Fotis was a thing at this point. This was like 2013, right before Halo 4 came out. So I'm not sure if Fotis was a thing at this point. Fotis stood for the Fist of the Unicorns, and they were a Forerunner clan, and they had the unicorn as their emblem, and it was a really, really cool. It was led by this guy named Ezra. You know, people didn't like him, they made up these lies about him and all that, blah blah blah, you know, drama within the clan community. It's inevitable. Fuck you. Anonymous wanted to make a Forerunner clan. I thought it was really good, as it was ambitious. No one really seen a Forerunner clan before, so I was all for it. So me and him were guardians, called guardians. Guardians were, I guess, the council leaders of them. He was the guardian of death. I was the guardian of rage, I think. Yeah.
Your
Since
opponents
back then
are
I got
nearing
really
victory.
heated during fucking clan raids and shit. I'd be screaming and cursing at everybody, and I'd be like, "Get your fucking ass back over there! You're not done yet." Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Yeah, I get really heated. Because clan raids were my thing to do. I was, like, the top clan raider. I still even do some. Maybe I'll do one in this video if the opportunity presents itself. That was the Guardian of Rage. We had recruits. We didn't really have a good sense of their lore, so we called our soldiers, warriors, and whatnot. We didn't have a Didact since we didn't really know what a Didact was at that point. So we ran that for about a few months, and then Anonymous suddenly disappeared. And this was when I ran into Odin of Reach. And this is where Karam gets born. Or this is the start of my journey as Karam. So Odin of Reach approaches, and he says he's going to make a Mandalorian community, something that's never been seen before or was seen on Halo 3, and that he wants to bring back. This started on Halo Reach. So I was like, Mandalorian? That's Star Wars, right? And he was like, yeah, it's actually Star Wars. You're one of the few people that recognize the term. And I was like, okay. That he's talked to, I guess. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Where do I sign up? So, I guess he wanted to do this roleplay thing. And get really into the lore of Mandalorians and all that. And so, at first it was 7 people. It was myself, which I was named Drahar Solish. He was Te Solish, meaning the first. Mirshko Solish. We used to call him Milkshake. Oh god. I wonder where he is now. What's up, Milkshake? If you're watching this, what's up, buddy? So, where was I? Tay. Tay took us all in, and his 7 sons, as he called it, and he taught us what it meant to be a Mandalorian, all their core values, a little bit of their language. I can speak a little bit of it, but not fluently. I've always found languages to be interesting, and I've always tried to learn a couple words and phrases out of the norm for each language that I'm interested in. Um, but something about the Mandalorians struck out to me way back then and still does right now. They hold one core belief, and that's family. Like, anywhere you look, it all comes back to family and trusting one another and fucking doing all you can for one another. And, you know, I really didn't have that good of a childhood growing up, so that's all I'm gonna say on that. So to come into this community of people that took this value really seriously, I was all for it, you know. But, you know, few months in, some things happened.
Initiating Slayer. I am eager to see how well you perform.
Me and my brothers, some of my brothers really didn't see eye to eye on things, so I left. And I then created a kind of special forces clan on Halo Reach, called the Knights of Hell. And this would be one of my more successful clans, because the Knights of Hell really took inspiration from the Knights Templar at first. So we had a Grandmaster, a Master Commander, and all that.
You have gained the lead.
And we actually got into a war with the Soul Leashes because they wanted to try to hunt me down for leaving. Like I said, they took family very seriously, and for someone to
lost the lead
up and leave them, they took as a very personal offense. And they didn't take that really well, so they tried to hunt me down, and it devolved into a war. And they had gotten some help from another clan called the Forgotten Spartans or something like that. Yeah, the Forgotten Spartans, or the Forsaken Spartans. The Forsaken Spartans, they had gotten help from to try and help them in this war since they were still developing their clan and all that. Suffice to say, they absolutely fucking crushed us because I was not at all ready to face a war on two fronts, so to speak, from the Mandalorians and the Forsaken Spartans. So, you know, they won the war and I went on my way. Halo 4 came out, and this was when in high school I was editing shit. I was being an editor for my school news program and all that. So
enemy win
this
condition
esports
50%
clan on
fulfilled.
Halo 4 called Blank Gaming approached me to be their head of media and head editor. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm in. Let's do it. And they had like a fucking FIFA, a COD, and a Halo section within their group.
You are an excellent
It
diversion.
was really well thought out and well developed. I made everyone's profile pictures and edited their videos or whatnot. It was only a couple of videos since it only lasted a few months. Eventually disbanded because of their leadership didn't really work well together, which really astounded me since these guys acted like they knew what the hell they were doing and were friends. And I guess, you know, someone didn't like an idea of one of the other leaders and they were like, nah, fuck you, we're taking this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, your best guys, and we're leaving and we're doing our own thing. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm leaving. If you really looked hard enough, I guess you could see some of their videos and find their YouTube channel and their Twitter channel and all that. I was called BG Hellhound, and it was around this time that I was featured on one of Dividable Halo's podcasts. You guys remember Dividable Halo? Oh my god, that guy was a genius in the clan media community.
Your opponents are nearing victory.
Oh, he did. He did as fuck. But Dividable Halo, don't know what he's doing now, but
You are an
wish you the
excellent
best of luck, my
diversion.
dude. You're in some good content.
Defeated.
Right after Blank Gaming stopped, I decided I was going to make another Forerunner clan, guys. On Halo Reach, I made a Forerunner clan. And you know what? That was one of the best experiences of my life. Want to know why it was one of the best experiences of my life? Because it got so big so quickly. You know, for someone my age back then, I don't even remember, maybe I was 16, to have banded together like 100 people and lead them on Halo Reach. And I was known as the Arc Didact for a while. You know, I was a Didact. I had 5 other fleets. The Fleet of War, Fleet of Security, Forerunner Fleet Command, which is my little baby girl. The Special Defense Force, and, you know, the Fleet of Emergency. You know, they all had one job to do within the community. The Fleet of Emergency was just there for having a quick reaction force for raids, surprise raids, and all that. The Fleet of War was there for war, mainly. You know, these are very self-explanatory. The Fleet of Security would be the guards and everyone. Forerunner Fleet Command would be all the high officials and have like a small military unit presence. And the Special Defense Fleet were basically spies and espionage. We made a website. We had like 2 Sangheili fleets under our command as well. They had pledged themselves
Initiating Slayer.
to our
I am
cause,
eager to see
and
how
then we
well you
ran into
perform.
the Arachnos. Does anyone remember the Arachnos back then? Oh, they were assholes. They really were. Ugh. You ever ran into Arachnos? Arbiter of Despair. Yo, he was the asshole to be. If you wanted to be an asshole, you had to emulate Arbiter of Despair. Haha, you killed yourself in his confusion. He was a little asshole. He had this deep ass voice. He was probably like fucking 35 or some shit. That's how deep his voice was. You know, he was a little fucking backstabber was what he was, because
You
he
have
acted all
gained the
nice
lead.
and friendly with us. And then as soon as we didn't serve any use to him, he tried to go to war with us. But, you know, being 100 people strong and 5
Lost
fucking
the lead.
clans, we fucking kicked his ass and sent him running. But he's a fucking pest. We should mention, like, every other faction was like, fuck you, Forerunners, we're gonna fucking kill you. So we had we had the Sangheili at one point, we had the UNSC and the insurrectionists all just fucking at our throats. And they wanted to fucking end us so badly for whatever fucking reason. Maybe I was an asshole back then, but I remember that oh yeah, I remember why they wanted to kill us so badly, because I'd keep walking into their raids and utterly fucking destroying them in raids. Like, you know how it was back then, there was no custom browser, you couldn't just fucking da-da-da. Fuck. You couldn't just da-dee-dee-dee-da-da-da and just fucking enter anyone's fucking lobby, you had to be invited. You had to know the guys to be in there, you know? So there were a lot of people that
You
were
have gained the
pissed that
lead.
we would just unexpectedly just raid their lobbies. Because I had a lot of friends. They shall not be named. But I had a lot of friends back then. And so there were all these different times where either myself, I alone, or with a group of warriors would just come in and just fucking decimate shit. Because, once again, raids were my thing. I take pride in looking at a situation and figuring out how to get past their heavily armed defenses and take their shit, as I like to call it. I was the combat tactician. That was my skill. I was never one for 1v1s. As you can fucking clearly see, I was never one for 1v1s. Like, you put me in a 1v1 and I would absolutely not know what to do. I would just keep on dying because, you know, I'd like to do shit with the groups. Because that's how I know I'm gonna win. Stronger together, you know? And I'm strong by myself, I guess. Oh, fuck you, bitch. As that clearly fucking shows you, right? Oh, it was a taser! I had a taser! I could have fucking tased that guy. Fuck. But, I digress. I remember this one time.
New teammate.
I joined in with a guy. On a little custom game. They had built like a 5-story base, and we had spawned without weapons, and our gravity was reduced, so we couldn't jump up high enough to breach their walls. So, you know what me and this little fucking random guy did? My brilliant idea. I looked at their curved walls. They had curved walls. What the fuck are you doing? Curved walls, people.
Win condition 50% fulfilled.
Like a little hill,
You
like
have gained
thing.
the lead.
So like a little like fucking
Your
circle on the
opponents
ground,
are
you know.
leading.
You know how it goes. So I took
You
one
have
look at
gained
that.
the
I was like,
lead.
we're gonna fucking jump that shit. So it was reduced gravity, so you couldn't just hop up and jump on the guy's head to do this fucking double jump that we called it.
The lead.
You couldn't do that, so you know, but I could barely just get on the guy while he was crouching. So, you know, I had him just fucking jump and boost me over the wall,
You have
and
gained the
they had
lead.
no idea where the fuck we
Your
were.
opponents are leading.
So I took their Banshee, and there were legit like 5 guys with snipers all lined up on a row on their highest tower. 5 snipers, guys. You know how fucking hard and how fucking long it took to get to the fucking walls of the base? It took an hour just to get to the wall of the base. You know, but you know, me and little fucking don't even remember his name, were so determined to get to the wall that nothing was gonna stop us. Because we wanted to show these bastards that you're not gonna take weapons away and expect not to get fucked. Because you know what, I took a Banshee and I just fucking rammed them all like it was fucking bowling and yelled out strike. Yeah, so so that was a really fun time. I love raids. I'm sorry, but I do. There's something about going into a base, looking at it,
Your opponents are
figuring out,
nearing
hey, if I
victory.
can run up this little part, I can totally get behind them and fuck their day over. And then that's when Halo 5 came. Halo 5 came and I jumped right on that shit. You know what I did? I started my Forerunners up again. You know it, boy. Forerunners forever. Because I still had a small group of people that were loyal and people that didn't believe this Agent Main about his lies and all not. So we started up the Forerunners again on Halo 5, and that went well for a while. Don't get me wrong, didn't get to the point where it was with 100 people, but no, it was pretty damn good. Had about 30 people. They're all good guys. Gunny, if you're watching, love you, pal. And then that ended. Summer was over. Then that ended because summer was over. People had to go back to school. They had jobs. You know how it is with the clans and fucking summer being over. They're not what they used to be. Summer is really the pinnacle for clans to be around. If it's not summer, you know, it's not gonna be a fun time for clans. You know, you watch it right now, and sure we have these clans running around, but not a lot like they used to be. Really, summertime they all come out. That's when I ran into Mandalorians again. After the Forerunners was over, I ran back into the Mandalorians, and I was like, "What's up, Dad?" Because Tay Solish was still around. Oh god. So I talked to my guy, I talked to my dad. Oh god. And I started up Raven. There we go, buddy. Raven. Karam S. Raven. Didn't have an S back then. I was just Karam Raven. Started that up with my friends. Bazooka Boy. Halo Blast. And he's now, what he was then known by was, I think it was Bazooka Boy, actually. Was it Bazooka Boy? No, I think it was Bazooka Boy. But Bazooka Boy ended up changing his name, or someone ended up changing their name to Kiramood Raven. And he was my first son in my bloodline. Yeah, I know, it's really cringy stuff, guys. But, you know, bear with me. Not that cringy to me. Maybe cringy to you. And if you haven't already just fucking left the video, then, you know, you a real one, boy. But fuck, I couldn't kill this guy. But I started up the Ravens. The Ravens ran pretty good under my command. We grew our forces. We participated within the community events and everything, you know, you had to do to be a Mandalorian and be relevant within the Mandalorian community. At this point, fucking Tay had left and Allure had taken over. Allure Ordo. Allure Tay Ordo, the leader of Clan Ordo. The leader of Clan Ordo, I don't remember who the leader of Clan Ordo back then was, but Allure Tay Ordo was the founder of Ordo, as he put it, and he was the Lord of War in the community, which basically meant that, you know, in war decisions, he was the authority besides the Mandalore. If there was a war, he would coordinate all of the houses and tell them where to go, who to fight, and all that, you know, who can fight. And then when Tay left, he became Mandalore. And, you know, me and the other clans really didn't like that. Raven, Ordo, Vizsla, didn't really like it. Aden. Oh god, there's so much history within the Mandalorians, guys. Like, I'm not doing it justice enough. But this is a couple months after I had started Raven up. It was flourishing. Had sons, started a bloodline. Fucking Kiramood was the man. But I had to challenge Allure Ordo because he wasn't doing anything. He was doing absolutely nothing. He'd say one thing and do the opposite, you know? He'd say, we're gonna go to war. And then he'd hang out on Netflix for 5 hours a day.
Enemy win condition 50% fulfilled.
And ignore everybody else.
Fisticuffs.
But, you know, not the worst thing that happened. Because, you know, I challenged him and I won and I beat his ass. Because, you know, he spent all his time on fucking Netflix and never on Halo 5. So, you know, I whooped his ass pretty good in a sword fight. You can check out the video. I'll link it. It's actually on my channel, actually. So, you know, I don't even have to link it. Just go to my channel page and it's right there. That's the fight that made me Mandalore of the Mandalorian community. Well, not the whole community, just the most of the community. Because most of the community was still around and following one person, but you had these little fucking people outside, like MF Tayson, who was also known as UDF Hex. He's an asshole. He's a sanctimonious, egotistical prick. You know, because he'll try and sweet talk you, and then you stutter or something, and then he'll be like, aha, I'm smarter than you because I didn't stutter and I used words correctly. Go fuck yourself. And I would be like, nah, fam. That's not gonna get people to like you. If anything else, it's gonna get people to secretly hate you and talk shit about you, but I'm doing it openly, so ha, fuck you. But I digress. I got Mandaloreship. Which basically meant that I led all the clans and the people within the community to glory. Because, you know, I went to war with... Who is shooting at me?
You are an excellent diversion.
I went to war when a lord didn't go to war, and I brought people in when a lord didn't bring people in, but he said he would. Oh no, I'm being assassinated. So I went to war with this group named the Death Watch, or the Death Watch, you know. Not the Mandalorian Death Watch, but a Warhammer 40k Death Watch, which was very ironic and interesting because, you know, if anything, we're gonna go to war with a Death Watch from our own universe. And not some fucking ripoff. But his name was Invessa. That was the leader of Death Watch.
Time remaining, 5 minutes.
And you know, we kicked his ass. Long story short, we kicked his ass to the point where he wanted nothing to do with us and cut off all communications with us and tried to tell other people to cut off communications with us because he was so butthurt about us randomly. Because he was so butthurt about us just randomly entering his lobbies on Halo 5 and just absolutely wrecking his shit. We'd read anything from socials to fucking recruitments. And just cause
Your
trouble.
opponents are nearing victory.
And that went pretty well. I was having a fun time. I had handed off Raven to my son. He had it flourishing. He brought in people. One of them... You know, I'm proud. You know what? I'm proud of my little family that I managed to create and the people that hold it now even though I'm not there. I am proud of them. So we went to war against Investa. We won. He got butthurt. He told everyone not to interact with us because, oh no, they're the bad guys in this situation. But eventually I left, you know. Or I didn't leave. I was given advice to one of my other sons or grandsons about what to start a clan, how to do it, and
Game concluded. You have been defeated.
someone didn't like that, so they forced me out, and you know, I didn't do anything with anybody for a while. And then I got back into Halo 5 after sabbatical from Halo, from Xbox, and just lived my life for a few months. So a couple months I'm just doing my own thing, and then I come back to Halo 5 after a while, and I see one of my grandsons is on Katra Raven, and I'm like, hey buddy, heard you were the new Allure of Raven, and I wanted to talk to you and see how things were going. I'm the founder. And he was like, okay, sure. You know, he's a really good guy, Katra. I have nothing bad to say about him. Other than his jokes are repetitive. He calls me old man. And he says he's gonna get me a wheelchair. And then I say I'm gonna shove that wheelchair up his ass. Oh god. Hey buddy, if you're watching, I'm gonna shove the wheelchair right up your ass, right? fucking try and get me in it again, I'll put you in the wheelchair. It's not even a good wheelchair. He says he's gonna get me a Zimmer frame, and I'm like, oh no, not Zimmer frames. I don't like those. I want the cool high-tech stuff. Come on. Know your grandfather. Know your fucking son, bitch. Know your dad. So I returned to House Raven. I helped out there. I guess I guided them, provided them counsel, and I was just hanging around, just watching Raven flourish. And then I became the Lorgan of Raven for a time, because everybody had to deal with their own shit. So I was like, okay, I'm leading my house again, leading my family, and I like my family. You know, clans get a bad rap. And I don't know why clans get a bad rap by people, but they don't understand the simple fact that if you're in a good clan, they can help you with anything that you need help with. You know, they really become a second family to you, and with Raven, it was my baby. They were my family. And they'll always be my family, regardless of the fact that I left or not. They will always be my family. So,
Survival protocol training engaged.
you know, and I hope that they know that they will always be my family.
Round
But
one.
eventually, you know, I had to say that I don't want to be a part of a community that's going to try and be toxic to each other and not help each other. And I need to leave, and I need to do my own thing again. So my own thing is joining UEG Viral to edit their videos. But, you know, I don't edit their videos anymore after a month. Because I recognize that they have a lot of content to put out, and, you know, I need to be paid for my work. And Serenity, who was the leader of Viral, understood that completely, and we have no ill regrets to each other. You know, I'm glad to be a part of a community of gamers that are casual. They don't really take anything that seriously. And they're just chill. There's no toxicity or drama or anything with them, and you know, I can see myself being here for a while, unless
3 survivors remain.
my Raven family wants
Infection
to come back.
detected.
You know,
2 survivors
wants me to
remain.
come back. Or I get the sudden urge to start my forward and reset
Final
again.
survivor.
Either or, you know.
Combat complete.
But that's my
The
story
survivors have lost.
of clans while playing Halo 5. And I think that's all the time
Round
I have
2.
for today. So, you know, put in the comments what you liked about the video, what you didn't like, if you have any questions about clans or about my journey, because I really didn't get too deep into anything. You know, maybe I'll just make a video highlighting my Raven days, and only my Raven days, because the Mandalorians are so important to me in my life and how I see life in general, and their rules and code of conduct really inspire me to live my own day-to-day in real life. But you know, I digress. Thank you for coming to Raven's kind of TED Talk, I guess. Alright, I'll see you guys sometime during the next couple of weeks. Tell me what games you want me to play. Goodbye!